This is Dr. Boris Orlock, the host of the Happy Horror Coffee Break Old Time Horror Radio Show podcast. What is a podcast? I don't know, but I do know every other week, I, along with my happy robot assistant here, is...
Bite me.
Not a butler, Garth Garfunkel. Why, hello. And the heavily depressed, demon-possessed teddy bear, Crappy.
I did some bad stuff in my life.
Take on a slew of comedian, author, musician, and whatever else guests, and ask them the questions that nobody cares about. Then they help us to turn online scary stories into old-timey horror radio dramas. Come and join the fun. There's music and t-shirts. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Slapstick, Hard Knockers, and whatever else made-up name they give the podcast platforms nowadays. So settle down, tune in, and enjoy your Happy Horror Coffee Break.
Welcome to episode 35 of State of Fear podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and with me, as always, every single Sunday, because he loves my face, my boy, James.
What's up?
What's going on,
How
James?
you doing, brother?
Good, man. How was your Halloween, bud?
My Halloween was surprisingly pleasant.
Was it really?
The neighborhood I live in, unfortunately, it's a townhouse community. Until I move out to my ranch,
Yeah.
I live in this townhouse community, and it's a nice lake and everything like that.
Okay.
But the security there for years wouldn't let kids trick or treat.
Oh, it sucks.
But in recent years, a lot of the elder residents, unfortunately, have either moved or passed on.
Oh, okay.
A lot of new families have moved in with kids. So this year we actually had kids. So
Cool.
we went down to the park, set up a table, put out some chairs, and just handed out candy down there, because down at the end of the block, unfortunately, my patio light is crapped out. Even when I change the bulbs off,
dang.
I got to swap it out.
Okay.
So I didn't want to shortchange the kids, but it actually caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
Because I had to run out and get candy. I was
oh.
like, holy crap, because
Did you
I
get
bought candy for like 4 years in a row and nothing.
Oh,
and I
I
get
see.
stuck with it. That's why I'm 350 pounds. You know,
It's a Halloween, man, every time.
Halloween, brother.
Yeah.
But no, it was pleasant. How about yours?
It was good, man. We had a decent amount of people come through. Last couple of years. Last year, I think it rained, so we had less people than we thought. This year, we made the smart decision to buy candy like occasionally starting the 1st of like October, so
There you go.
Like every week we'd go out to the store, and while we were there we'd pick up one bag, so we wouldn't like just load up
Sweet.
at the last minute.
Heck yeah.
And then we did the whole social distancing thing, so we created a pulley system that went from the garage to the end of the driveway, and there was a long pole, and I rigged up I made a drink caddy, and I put a ghost on it, and then I would send it down
awesome.
Yeah,
It was awesome. And if you feel so inclined, maybe you ought to share that little clip on our site.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I will.
And then I'll try to share it out to the other ones just to say, hey, man, this is some Halloween ingenuity
and
right
everybody
here.
loved it. All the kids got a
was
kick out
awesome,
of it.
dude.
It scared some people, some kids, of course, some younger ones.
Of course, they didn't see it coming.
Well, and the ghost was lit up. I had like red eyes. And
Oh, man.
so,
Oh,
like,
hell,
it
man.
looked scary as hell.
Something come flying at you. Heck yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I say we had a good year because normally we have a ton of candy left over, and I hate that because I don't want to eat it, but I do eat it.
Yeah.
But this year, I think we made it little individual bags, so we can make it easier just to get the candy and go.
Cool.
And I think we made 60. I think we have like 10 left,
Nice.
so it's not bad. Yeah.
So you dished it out, man.
Yeah,
Way to go.
got rid of it, and and then we had some people from the neighborhood came over and they hung out for a bit, and we just kind of talked in the driveway. And
Awesome.
And it was a good
So
little-
you didn't let them take Halloween from you.
Nope. Heck
Awesome.
No. Halloween.
Awesome.
I love that one. It's not going anywhere.
I thought of any year there wouldn't be nothing going on. This is actually the busiest year in my neighborhood
Oh, good.
that I ever saw.
That's good.
I love Halloween. You love Halloween.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to get my house and my land because I'm going to set up a haunted hayride.
Oh,
I'm going to do all
man.
this stuff because, I want to do all that. I'm going to hang stuff in the trees. I'm going to get some friends to help me and set up a little haunted thing and then have some candy.
Yeah.
And do something like that. Hopefully, I'm in a community area.
Well, when you do, I volunteer to be a spooky scarecrow jumping out of the corn
You're in.
and scaring the shit out of people.
No problem.
Awesome. I'm
Now I got to
volunteering for that
plant
shit.
corn. Shit.
Now, you got to plant corn now. That's
Now I
right.
got to plant some corn.
It's got to be high as an elephant's eye.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm down.
So today we're going to get into the state of North Dakota.
North Dakota, the one state in the union I don't have any stories because I ain't never been there.
That's it. Podcast is done. We're over.
I know,
That's
we're
it.
through.
All right, guys. Have a good night. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, man, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, me either.
The closest I got was, of course, South Dakota, and I mapped it when I was at Mount Rushmore. I think I explained this on another episode.
Yeah.
And I never got that far because it was like 348 miles.
That's
and
right,
I
you
wasn't
did.
going to drive that far
Yeah.
just to get a refrigerator magnet. Not doing it.
That's a.
But
You can probably just buy one online and say you went there.
it's not the same.
No, it's not.
I'm
It's
not
definitely
going to
not
do
the
that.
same.
I'm going to earn that shit. I'm
Yeah.
going to North Dakota, and I'm going to get it.
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
I did find out one interesting fact. 2 times in its history, the state petitioned to change their name from North Dakota to just Dakota.
Really?
Yeah, and both times was denied.
Eh.
They're like, look, no,
You gotta
you're
change-
North.
What you gotta do is convince South Dakota to drop their first name and just combine states.
That'd be a big state.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Be good size.
A lot of empty space too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons. But it's gorgeous up there.
Yeah, and I don't know a lot about North Dakota myself either, just in general. I mean, I don't know really what's up there, what's
I
not
just
up
know
there.
it's north.
Yeah, I just know it's north. And
You can go that away.
is I don't even know where it's at. Is it near the Canadian border?
It is right on the Canadian border.
okay, that's what I was
It's the
thinking in my
north.
head.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
right about smack dab in the middle of the back of the U.S. When
Okay.
you go across the back. And
That's
yes,
what I
it is
thought.
right on the border.
Because it's along there with like Idaho and stuff, which touches the
And
border,
it's a
right?
damn shame. 2 years ago, I went on a 4,700-mile road trip, and I didn't even get there.
And
I
you-
was
you-
close.
You couldn't go on the extra 300 miles to make it a 5,000-mile road trip.
It wasn't in the cards,
Oh,
but that's all right.
but you went with a
I'll be
group,
knocking
right?
it out next year. Yeah,
Yeah, so the whole group has to say
some
yes.
of our ghost group.
Yeah.
A couple of our ghost group peoples.
But when you go on a road trip or when you go on a trip with people, with a group, you have to have a consensus of, yes, we're going to do that. If not, you're not doing it.
I told them this is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've rented the car.
Okay.
The car is going there, here, and here.
Okay.
You want to see it? Climb in. I'm going whether you like it or not. I paid for the car, the gas, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they gave gas money and stuff like that and helped out. But I took care of the car because I was going to go anyway.
I can see it because like 300 miles, it's like a 4-hour trip. So that's
Yeah.
that's a long way to go, like you said, for a magnet. Yes, that makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah.
And so I unfortunately had to pass, but that gives me another mission later
That's right.
in life.
I mean, how
But
many
I've been to Canada, but
many-
I've never been to North Dakota.
how many states do you think you have not been to?
One.
Just North
North
Dakota?
Dakota's it.
Oh, then yeah. Then you got to go make a whole week of being just in North Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after 2 days, you'll be like, well, I've seen literally everything in North Dakota. So
Pretty much.
I'll go do other stuff. I'll go to Canada.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do need to make a decent visit to Alaska because the one I did make was a joke. It was like on a ferry boat thing out of Washington.
Did you even get in like onto Canadian land, or did you stay on the boat the whole
Oh,
time?
no Canadian land because I didn't have my passport.
Oh,
You got to have your
yeah.
passport. You get off the boat, you
Okay.
have to have it, or you can just sit. You can sit on the boat,
So you did
and just
Canadian-
look, I can see it,
You did Canadian light.
Yeah, no kidding. You step your foot off the ramp and touch the dirt, and they cuff you and drag you off.
Yeah, the sirens go off.
Yep, here comes Dudley Do-Right.
Ooh, an American on our soil. No passport, get off.
How tough can they be? They got a leaf on their flag. It's
And they are known for their hospitality. It's supposed to be very, very, very nice.
Did you watch the hockey finals? No.
No, I didn't. I don't watch. I don't watch sports.
I don't watch sports.
Good.
Okay, so today we're going to be discussing the Midnight Rider, aka the Great Plains Butcher, Eugene Butler. But before we do that, let's get into some fun facts about North Dakota.
They have facts.
They have facts. Yeah.
They have some state facts.
So many people are aware of the Coen brothers film Fargo.
Yes,
Film
actually,
from
very
96.
good film.
Yeah,
Very good
yeah,
movie.
Based
Yep.
on the town Fargo, North Dakota. But it wasn't even filmed in North Dakota.
Ugh.
Yeah. The filming takes place in Minnesota, and much of it was shot in and around Minneapolis. Only some exterior snow shots of North Dakota's largest city appear in the film, and the FX television show Fargo, which is based on the movie, isn't filmed there either. It's filmed in Canada.
Bastards.
So
That's just wrong.
But they do a lot of shows like that. Anytime you see a show that's supposed to be based like in New York or something, most of the time it's actually filmed in Canada.
Well, now I admit it because I've seen some states where they say, "Oh, I'm riding through this or I'm going through there." I said, "You ain't. That's freaking. That's the the plains out in Utah." I said, "That's the Valley Trail out there where they have like the three-headed, what is it called? The three wise men and the arches and all that stuff, the balancing rock." I said, "I've seen that. It's in every damn movie, but it's a different state every time."
Well, two examples that I always think of top of my head is, one, there's a movie called The Fourth Kind.
Yes.
With Mia Jovovich.
Oh my God.
It's based on a actual event of people going missing in Alaska.
Yes.
The movie postulates that it's UFOs abducting people and making them disappear.
It's actually quite good. I've seen it. It's pretty damn good.
But I forget the town that it's based in. But there's a helicopter shot early in the movie going through like this valley with like these mountains, beautiful mountains with like green and stuff. That is not even in Alaska.
No.
The actual town, if you look at a picture of the town in Alaska, it's literally flat, white, and it's got like 30 buildings, and that's it. Yeah. So totally a lie. The other thing was, there was an episode of the TV show Supernatural where in that show, the two brothers Sam and Dean, they drive all across the country. And one particular episode, they were in West Texas, and I'm from West Texas.
Yes.
And of course, the show was filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh Lord.
So when they said they were in West Texas, I was like, okay, there's way too much greenery. West Texas is desert.
He ain't lying, folks. The whole state, the whole west part of Texas is brown.
From San Antonio
and with
west,
shrubbery.
West of San Antonio, that's like a whole different state because it's all desert at that point.
It is.
Everything San Antonio east, it
runs
green.
in that low-lying tundra stuff, and it stays that way for hundreds of miles all the way through New Mexico.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, and
it doesn't get any worse. It doesn't get any better in Arizona.
No.
It turns into like the planet from Galaxy Quest where they go get the beryllium sphere.
Well, yeah, New Mexico. New Mexico and Arizona, they have a lot of red desert out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but I was like, that's not West Texas, guys. Good try though.
All right.
What's the next one?
You probably won't find a CVS, Rite Aid, or Walgreens there. State law requires most pharmacies to be owned by local pharmacists, meaning the nation's chains can't operate pharmacies there. A 2014 attempt to change the law failed. Wow. That's right, in your face, Big Pharma.
That's right, Big Pharma down. Not in this state, fool.
Go to Patreon, listen to my medical conspiracy thing.
Good plug,
you know what I mean?
Good plug,
way to sneak it in there, right?
Good job, man. It likes its animal statues big. North Salem, North Dakota is home to Salem Sioux.
Salem?
Yeah, the world's largest statue of a Holstein cow. It's 38 feet high, even taller than the world's largest bison statue, a 26-foot tall monument to the buffalo in Jamestown. So they have two large animal statues. So when you go to North Dakota, you can go see that. Go see the bison and the Holstein cow.
It used to have sea monsters.
Sweet.
Some 80 million years ago, North Dakota was underwater. In 2006, an arrowhead collector turned up fossilized vertebrate far bigger than anything he'd ever seen. State paleontologists determined that the bones found on a farm were part of an almost complete skeleton of the prehistoric swimming reptile called the mosasaur. Ooh, isn't that the one from Jurassic World? The mosasaur?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That big, I like that one. The predator would have been around 50 feet long.
That's a big boy.
That is a big fish.
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish.
And what's good is that's where a lot of oil is. So that corroborates that story.
That's right.
My company does a lot of work in North Dakota.
Oh,
so.
nice. Yeah, so that they're getting all those dinosaur bones up there.
Yes, they are.
In 1982, Rutland hosted what was considered the granddaddy of all celebrations when the town went into the Guinness Book of World Records with the cooking and eating of the world's largest hamburger.
Oh, hell yeah.
That year,
way to go, North Dakota.
Between 8,000 and 10,000 people came to sample the tasty 3,591-pound burger.
How the hell did the bun hold that shit?
Man, there's got to be a picture of that somewhere.
There's got to be.
How do you even make a bun that big?
You don't.
Do you put thousands of tiny buns all over the giant patty?
You know what? That might be it.
Okay, after this, we're going to look up that picture. We're going to see there's got to be a picture somewhere. I want to see that shit.
All right. 2 granite boulders inscribed with Thunderbird figures are exhibited at Riding Rock State Historic Site, located 12 miles north of Grenora. Giving the site its name, the drawing probably represents the Thunderbird, a mythological figure sacred to the late prehistoric Plains Indians.
Yeah, I love hearing stories about Thunderbirds.
I do too.
It's always so cool.
Yes.
You know, scary as hell, because if I ever saw one, I'd probably shit my pants, but they're cool to listen to. They're cool to hear about.
Now let's hear about some famous North Dakotans.
All right, why don't you start us off there, James?
I will be glad to. A awesome Western author, Louis L'Amour, author of hundreds of
books.
Awesome Western.
Yeah, he's from North Dakota. Western
novels.
I
just froze up for a second. Yep, author of hundreds of awesome Western novels, man. The guy is a fantastic writer. And I believe a lot of his writing, some of it went to the Lonesome Dove series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
I think they used some of his ideas.
Yeah, he just like knocks them out.
Nice.
He's literally the opposite of George R.R. Martin, who puts out one book every 10 years.
Yeah. That ain't no kidding.
Actress Angie Dickinson is also from North Dakota.
Police woman. If anybody remembers her from the 70s, she was quite a looker. I think she passed. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I didn't look that up. I just looked up names.
I don't want to spit out, non-factual things.
You don't want to start what are those things?
A death hoax.
Death hoax.
I don't want to do a death hoax. Josh Duhamel.
It's
Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel.
Duhamel.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason I don't know the names because I don't know the person.
He's in the Transformers series.
Is he now?
Yeah,
Which one is he?
He's the main soldier. It's in the Transformers series.
Okay.
Yeah.
The white boy, right? Okay, I got you.
Married to, or at least he was married to Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
I believe he still is.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I believe he still is. As a matter of fact, that is funny. Me and my buddy Bill were cruising in the car the other day. Matter of fact, yesterday we're going to Third Planet.
Okay.
That
comic
toy
book shop.
Yeah, comic book shop. And we were discussing that fact. And Fergie came on the radio.
Oh, okay.
And he skipped it. And I said, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "You need to put that back on there." It was the London Bridge song. So I said, "Man, you need to play that, man." And so he backed it up. And then it came up. And I guess he is actually still married.
Oh.
She's married to him. And I believe they have 2 kids.
Gotcha. All right. Well, actress Leslie Bibb is also from North Dakota. And the last but not least, rapper, songwriter Wiz Khalifa, also from North Dakota.
From North freaking Dakota.
North Dakota, of
the last
all
place
places.
you could expect it.
From a rapper, yeah, for real. I know.
Well, in the movie Armageddon, Bear came from North Dakota too. Kaduka.
The late great
Kaduka, North Dakota. Yeah.
Late great. What's his face?
Michael Clark.
Duncan. That's right. Also the Kingpin.
Boy, that's a big son of a bitch.
He's a big dude. Yeah, it's a big dude.
Yep.
All right, but why don't we go ahead and get past all this fun stuff and go into something even funner?
Oh,
that being your
weird
news
of the day.
That's right.
Bum, 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 bum. God, I love that music.
All right, that is your theme song right there, but
Not quite, but
well, I mean,
we can't use the Superman theme because it's copyrighted.
Oh, that's right.
You know,
It definitely is copyrighted. Yeah.
All right, today's article, my friends, dated October 15th of 2020. I love this when they give the time. I'll have to do it. 3:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Written by Reese Oxner. The title of the article is Person Flying with Jetpack Spotted Near Los Angeles International Airport Again. I like the fact it says again. I mean, somebody let him get away with it once, and did it again. A person was spotted soaring high above the Southern California,
Not a, but the.
Using a jetpack. I'm going to just leave that in.
Leave it in.
The hell with it. Again, it says. I love it. Again is its own sentence.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, for the second time in 6 weeks, an unidentified person was seen flying using a jetpack near Los Angeles International Airport. It's unclear whether this is the same individual who was recently spotted wearing a jetpack near the same airport. There's more than one. I mean, okay, usually... Okay, I mean, is there a rush on jetpacks? I mean, somebody's got to be able to track the sales.
Yeah, seriously,
anyway,
it's pretty expensive.
This time around, the jetpack was flying 6,000 feet in the air.
Good Lord.
That is way up there for y'all out there who mathematically challenged. 6,000 feet
like
is
me.
Over a mile in the air.
Golly.
5,280 is a mile. So we're talking another 720 feet.
Yeah.
That's 2 football fields more than a mile.
That is high to
Holy
be on a jetpack.
crap. In a jetpack?
It's the Rocketeer.
Wow. China Airlines crew members reported the sighting Wednesday afternoon about 7 miles northwest of the airport, the Federal Aviation Administration told NPR. Crazy man in jetpack. Crazy man in jetpack.
We apologize for this racist part. Go on, James.
The Federal Aviation Administration said it, quote, alerted local law enforcement and would look into the report. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. The FBI is also investigating, quote, multiple reports from witnesses. FBI spokesman Laura Miller told NPR. No one is allowed to fly in the airspace near the airports. Well, no kidding. Yeah. Without authorization from air traffic control, and FAA spokesman told NPR. How many times are you going to put NPR in there? We already know who they're talking to.
Well, I mean, and they put the FAA like 6 times already.
Yeah,
so.
well, I'm waiting for the line. Aries 38, or is it Aries 30? Yeah, Aries 31. You want to report a UFO over? This includes those sporting jetpacks. Well, no kidding. And I've seen the jetpacks I've seen a few, but I've also seen the ones that use water.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
those are pretty cool.
Those are pretty fun. Yeah,
but yeah, 6,000 feet.
That's high, dude.
Man, that'd be a hell of an altitude to be at and crap out.
That'd be scary. Yeah, I was just thinking that.
But then maybe they have an emergency shooter, I guess, unless they're stupid. Anyway, flying 6,000 feet over an airport with a jetpack is dumb anyway.
Because you would have to have like a specially made chute that would go over the jetpack.
Yeah.
And not burn or anything while the jetpack was going.
That's crazy, dude. Plus, you're in air traffic zone in Los Angeles, for crying out loud. Yeah. Thousands of flights.
Thousands.
You're just looking to get taken out.
Can you just imagine the viewpoint being that high up, looking down on the ground?
That's nuts.
Knowing that there's literally nothing between you and the ground but 6,000 feet of space. You're not in a plane.
And the stream of air blowing out fast enough to keep your ass up there,
That's roasting your ass.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
On August 30th, 2 airline pilots reported a person flying with a jetpack about 3,000 feet in the air near the LAX, according to near LAX, according to the FAA.
Oh my God!
And then the FBI and the CIA.
And they said ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and
then the guy is MIA. So apparently the guy has managed to double his altitude.
Yeah, it's the same guy. You know, it's the same guy. It's got to be.
Kudos to George Jetson. Way to go, brother. Quote, we just passed a guy in a jetpack, a pilot told air traffic control on August 30th. The controller went on to inform another pilot and couldn't help commenting on the strangeness of the situation. Quote, only in L.A.
Love L.A.
You want to bet Texas got California whooped? We got way more strange.
We got some weird ass people in this state, let me tell you.
But that is the story. I thought it was cool, funny, and, kudos to this guy, but
6,000 feet though.
He's gonna be a bug on a windshield. One of these days. He's gonna get splattered. I mean, especially if the plane spotted him while flying.
Yeah,
one of these days he's gonna stray into the wrong path.
Best case scenario, he makes it out okay on his next flight. Bad scenario, he gets splattered by a plane. Worst scenario, he causes a plane to go down.
Could it be Tony Stark?
No, it's a jetpack. You know who it is?
Damn.
It's the Mandalorian.
Hey,
Mando.
Hey,
Mando.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if this is some weird like publicity stunt by Disney to promote the new season of Mandalorian, which came out yesterday. By the way, yeah,
that's right.
Have you seen the new episode yet?
No, I have not, but I'm going
dude,
to.
It's good.
I like to let them build up a little bit because I get aggravated when I only get one at a time.
I know.
So I'm going to choke it back and wait a couple of weeks and get a few episodes, and I'll binge them.
I wanted to do that, but I just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Oh.
I wouldn't have either, but I'm not
tell
home.
You, but I don't want to tell you because it's so awesome. But I do want to tell you. I don't want to tell you.
Don't tell me.
I'm going to tell you. All right. Anyway, but yeah, I would not be surprised if it was a publicity stunt by Disney.
Fantastic.
Like next time he goes up, since he's got 6,000 feet now. Next time he goes up, he's gonna have a banner that says "Watch Mandalorian on Disney." Watch.
He better. Yeah, that's right.
Drag one around.
That's right.
That was a good story, man. I like that.
Yes, sir. Well,
Awesome.
why don't we? Of course. You know what? Now we're done with this fun. Let's get into this really interesting story you found. What do you say?
Are you sure you want to do that, man?
Yeah, we got to bring it down a notch, I guess.
All right,
huh?
let's do that, buddy. Okay, so today's topic, as I mentioned earlier, is on Eugene Butler, a.k.a. the Midnight Rider. Now, I think that was the main reason why I picked the story, because I love that nickname.
Yes.
And what it has to do with is ridiculous as hell. But I was like, because one of the sources I found, the title of the article is called "The Strange Tale of the Midnight Rider." I was like, ooh, that sounds cool. What's that? Also called the Great Plains Butcher. Not as cool of a name, but whatever. You know, they had
Eugene the Butcher.
Eugene the Butcher Butler. That's
that
right.
sounds like what the suck material right there. Eugene the Butler.
I'm sure at some point someone will make a really crappy movie about him that
They
we'll
just
have to
might,
watch.
if it doesn't already exist.
True. So in the early 1900s, residents near the tiny town of Niagara in the new state of North Dakota began to hear strange noises in the night. The sound of galloping hooves punctuated the quiet countryside. It was farmer Eugene Butler, again,
Farmer Eugene.
I like that name. Farmer Eugene, who had recently started riding his horses late at night, yelling at the top of his lungs. It was strange behavior from a man who was known to be a wealthy, successful, if somewhat reclusive farmer.
Yeah, but if you go by my farm yelling and hollering, I'm going to get you with a slingshot or something.
Look, if you're going late at night yelling on your horses,
yeah,
only two reasons to do that. One, you're the headless horseman. Two, you're Paul Revere. Otherwise, you don't do that.
No, don't come nowhere near my house.
Nope. Niagara is a peaceful farm town of about 50 or so residents and is located on Highway 2 on the westernmost stretch of Grand Forks County.
I like that. Highway 2.
Just number 2.
Just number 2.
Not like Highway 45B or something like that.
Nope.
The townsfolk had no idea that in the coming years, the story of Eugene Butler would get much, much stranger. Eugene Butler was born in 1849, one of 3 sons born to Ephraim and Rebecca Butler.
I'm loving these names, man.
Old school names, man.
Ephraim.
You know, he's just like a rough, gruff farmer. Doesn't take no crap.
Tractor driving sumbitch right there. That's what I'm telling you.
He is. He was of English descent, with his family having roots in Braintree, Essex, England. Braintree is the weirdest damn name for a little town ever. Braintree. That sounds like a company name, not a town name.
Got to give it up to them English.
He came from a prosperous family and moved to Grand Forks County in 1880 with a number of others from New York State.
Jealous?
Why?
Because he lived in 1880.
Oh, man.
I've always said I've been born in the wrong century. I should have been an old West guy.
Yeah, no soap, no showers, just roughing it out there.
That's right.
That's right. Making your own food.
Somebody lip off. That's right. Doc Holliday that ass.
You have been an outlaw for sure, huh?
Actually, no. I'd probably been a lawman.
You been a lawman?
I would love to been like Rooster Cogburn. Federal.
Yeah.
Marshal.
Yeah.
A territory marshal or something like that.
You would have joined the Rough Riders.
I'm more of a bad guy. I'm not a murderer, but I like to go after bad people.
You would have been like a what was regulator.
That's right.
You've been a regulator.
That's right, fool.
He picked out 3/4 of a section of land near Larimore and started farming in 1882. He rapidly improved the land and built a substantial home, and he was by all accounts a moderately well-fixed farmer. In spite of the fact that he had made many friends, he continued to live alone on the farm, doing all the work about the house. He maintained it on his own, never married, and lived as a recluse, avoiding contacts with neighbors and only going out for business purposes to nearby Larimore, North Dakota, to hire farmhands to maintain his farm during the summer months when he needed more help.
That's right.
He would eventually
some help.
He needed
some help.
He would eventually amass a healthy fortune during his time. His home at the time was valued at approximately $50,000, which is $1.4 million in 2020 money.
Nice.
He owned considerable amounts of land in Grand Forks County, and after his death, was found to have $6,000 in cash in his small house, equivalent to $175,000 in 2020 money.
Damn.
He just had that in his house laying around.
$6,000 in 1880.
Yeah. Actually, no. He died in 1913.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Still alive.
From 1913, just over 100 years later, $6,000 would have been $175,000.
Ew.
Yeah. It was immediately following the move to North Dakota that Butler was noticed to have changed considerably and began showing signs of mental illness, including suffering from hallucinations and thinking that invisible people were chasing him. Butler refused to let anyone take his photo because he thought it would steal his soul and he would die.
Now, he's not the first person to think that, though.
No, he's not.
There were a lot of people back then that thought you did that and you take their soul from them.
There's some religions that think that.
Yeah.
But he's one individual in the
That's why everybody in those old West photos never smiled.
That's because they took too long to take. And they were like,
you took my soul.
He would also wake up in the middle of the night, prowling his land and perusing his home, convinced someone was trying to break in or trespass. Now, if he had that much money in his house, that's a cause for paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
if anybody knew about it.
But see, that's kind of a thought, because he said that he tried to, he meant to be a recluse. He barely went to town, so you think he wouldn't have told a lot of people about it. But being in town, he may have casually mentioned it.
I got $6,000 in my floorboards.
Yeah, and so when he gets back home, he's like, "Crap, why did I say that? They're going to come steal it." Yeah. Those who are familiar with this case state that he lost his mind through his hermit habits. That's hard to say, hermit habits.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to trip you up.
They are trying to trip me up, man. Stop that. He gradually became worse and was taken before an insanity board. And at some point in 1906, Butler's mental illness reached its peak, and that is when he began to ride his horse at night at breakneck speed about the country and yelling at the top of his lungs. I wonder what he was yelling.
I don't know.
I want chicken. I want burgers. Stop.
Where's the beef?
They took my shoes.
Oh, man.
At that point, he was committed to the North Dakota State Hospital in Jamestown and placed under the supervision of Dr. W.M. Hotchkiss. And for the next 7 years, Butler would continue to have hallucinations and paranoia, though he would live out his final years in relative peace. From talking to the staff about men who would come into his home during the night and force him to get dressed and take him on long walks or horseback rides, for no reason, to his fears about invisible figures that he claimed were chasing after him. According to one of his doctors, Dr. A.W. Guest, and quote, Mr. Butler was a man of small stature, very gallant, and fond of attending the hospital dances, even falling desperately in love with one of the female physicians.
Now, wait a minute. What about the recluse stuff?
What do you mean?
Oh,
well, at this point, you can't be a recluse when you're in a hospital.
I guess not.
Constantly. So at that point.
The whole Florence Nightingale effect thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Actually, that's in the reverse, though. If he's falling in love with her, she may not want nothing to do with his ass.
So there's another condition. There's a Florence Nightingale where the nurse falls in love with the patient, but then there's another one where the patient falls in love with the caregiver. I forget what that's called. It's another condition that's reversed.
Warning?
No,
I mean, shit.
No, it's not that. I forget what it's called, but yeah, there's another condition that's called that, where the patient falls in love with a
I
caregiver
got
for
you.
no reason, whether it's male or female or the same sex or not. They just happen because they were saved. They just suddenly have this love for them. So Eugene Butler died on October 22nd, 1913, and was buried in Middleport, New York, by his relatives. His estate would be divided between his living relatives, and his property in Niagara sat for the next 2 years untouched. On June 25th, 1915, excavations began on the property for the purpose of renovating it when the workmen were surprised by a grisly discovery. While digging a cellar under the house, they discovered 6 skeletons covered by 6 feet of dirt, 5 of which were adults, 1 a child.
I was wondering when this was going to come in. I'm serious. I was wondering when the dead people coming in. He's already dead, and all he did was hoop and holler and went crazy.
Yeah, and this is where we started.
Nice.
It was believed by authorities they were murdered by Butler while employed by him as farmhands. The skulls of each had been crushed. The bodies had been dropped into the basement through a cleverly constructed trap door. Legs were broken on some of the victims so they would fit into the shallow graves.
Holy Moses.
Initially, there was a theory that 5 of the remains belonged to a family consisting of 2 women, probably housekeepers, and their children. Nobody in the neighborhood, however, ever recalled a family that had ever gone missing in the county. Now, later examinations of the skeletons found showed that 5 of the murders were committed at one time when a man, a woman, and 3 kids were slain. At some later date, the 6th person was killed. Examination of the skeletons indicate 5 crimes were committed at once. Bodies have been stripped of clothing. The bodies of the 5 members of the family were buried in a single hole, while that of the other victim was buried about 10 feet from them. The 5 bodies were buried in a hole that was dug from the outside of the house, under the foundation. The hole into which these bodies were dumped was sloping in nature, and while time may have rotted the bones, there are indications that in order to hide his crime, Butler was compelled to break the legs of at least 2 of his victims.
Oh, man, some of that misery hobbling crap.
Oh, yeah.
Ay,
Crazy
grab that
Kathy
damn
Bates.
sledge and break them legs. Ay, ay, ay.
The foundation wall where the bodies had been buried was disturbed after its construction, which was about 20 years prior to when they found the bodies.
Ooh.
So it was sometime after the house was built. So in that 20 years was when the bodies were buried.
Sometime,
Yeah.
Well, just 20-year period.
So that fact limits the period in which the murders occurred. In order to bury the victims, the 3 bottom stones of the foundation wall were loosened. In refilling the hole, black dirt was thrown in, and the manner in which the burial place was dug indicated by the marked lines of distinction between the black dirt used as a covering and a red clay subsoil.
Oh, man.
A lot of science going on
Oh,
there.
no. You know, I ain't trying to hide nothing there.
No, not at all.
No.
No. The 6 skeletons were found completely nude. The dirt about the skeletons was carefully examined for traces of buttons, shoes, etc., but nothing was found. So their clothes were probably destroyed by fire, thus effectively destroying the possibility of identification at that time. Examination of the skull of the single victim, and probably the most recent murder victim, indicated that the man had a crooked nose. The nasal bone had been slightly bent toward the left. That some sharp instrument was used in killing the members of the family also was indicated. There is a sharp and clearly defined hole in the left side of the skull of each.
Oh.
The skull of the single victim is similarly marked. So he
Stabbed
bashed
him in the head with something.
or bashed him in the head with something like
a pickaxe.
like a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
A single sharp, yeah.
and did the same to each single one. Yeah. Repeated the motion again and again. However, later the authorities had apparently determined that the original theory, that of a family of 5 was killed first, followed by one individual, was incorrect. Neighbors, however, do not remember a family of the 5 ever visiting the farm, and nobody ever reported a family of 5 missing. One theory was that perhaps 5 of Eugene's family members came to visit, and he dispatched them before anyone had seen them at the farm.
But that would have set off some kind of suspicion, I would think, wouldn't you?
You would notice
amongst the family something.
You would notice 5 family members gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's a good chance, at least, I mean, just let's play low odds. At least 2 of them mentioned to somebody else they were going to see Eugene.
Yeah.
At least.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think that one holds water myself.
No, me either. The passage of time between the murders and the discovery of their bodies further hindered any identification of the victims. Later, police revealed that all the skeletons belonged to young men, one of them being a boy between age 15 and 18, and another who had a crooked nose. Authorities couldn't identify the individuals and suggested they were all vagrants employed as farmhands by Butler, which would explain why nobody had noticed their disappearances.
Damn it. And that's exactly what I was going to say.
Were
but
you?
You know what? Good research, because I was going to say they're probably either drifters or somebody coming in town just looking for work. You took them in.
Because there's that one single line that I said earlier that he would go into town during the summer months to hire farmhands.
Hire farmhands.
And most likely they were farmhands who were people who were drifting through town.
Just looking for a few bucks so they can move on. Absolutely.
Yep.
People did that all the time. Work, travel, stop for a little while, work a little bit so they can get farther. But yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And since the according to what they found in like the foundation in the dirt, since the crime happened in a very short time span, and they were all done at one time, perhaps the individuals he picked for one particular summer, he felt like they were all ganging up to rob him. And he felt like he had to.
That's very possible, especially like I said, if he was keeping large amounts of cash around the house.
And he was mentally ill.
And maybe he took them all out in their sleep or something.
Yeah, because he thought all five of them were going to get together and then rob him before they left.
Good theory, brother.
On July 22nd, 1915, the Valley City Times Record published a story about a possible identity for one of the victims. Leo Urbanski, a wealthy businessman and former saloon keeper from Minnesota, wondered whether his brother might be one of the single male victims whose remains were found at Butler's farm, and asked his attorney to send a letter to State's Attorney O.B. Burtness. That's a great name, Burtness.
He said O.B. I
O.B.
went straight to one Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's right.
These are not the bodies you're looking for.
That's right.
Quote, I have been requested to make inquiry concerning John Urbanski, who disappeared near Niagara, North Dakota in 1902. The last heard from him was a letter received by his brother stating that he was working for a bachelor near Niagara.
Oh, damn.
The postmark showed that the letter had been mailed at Larimore. That's actually,
Okay.
that screams to me to be one of the victims for sure.
That's definitely
near Niagara for a bachelor.
Yep.
Working for a bachelor. Postmarked near Larimore. 1902 was around the time he was getting ready to. He was making additions to his house, or probably hiring summer work.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Urbanski was a young man about 5 feet 6 inches in height, weighing 145 pounds, light hair, almost white, and light complexion. He was sometimes called John Miller, and such may have been the name he was called when working near Niagara. End quote. In the century since Butler's crimes were revealed, little progress has been made, and the victims have never been positively identified.
How could they if nobody actually knew they were gone?
Right.
It's like I said, because, back in the old West days, family members roam out into the prairie and vanish. They buried, how many thousands of people are buried, God knows where.
Right.
Anywhere in the United States, anywhere you drive. They could be under freeways. They could be in picnic areas, anywhere, because when
All over
people
the place.
died, they'd bury them right where they, where they fell.
Or people who died like in vast expanses who never found their bodies just
So they probably never thought
decomposed and
twice
just-
about it back then. I guess he got into something, got himself killed.
Yeah, he did, or
He did.
Yeah, I mean, how many like older male members, or how many like single people who felt like they were being a drain on their family decided they need to go find their own way.
That's it.
And just took off and became drifters.
And became a foundation.
Apparently. They were the foundation of this man's house of horrors.
I guess so, yeah.
A story from the Ward County Independent on September 2nd, 1915 said the bones of the victims were held in Grand Forks at the office of Sheriff Art Turner, but WDAY-TV/Fargo reported in 1916 that, upon hearing of the crime, townspeople flooded to the Butler home and looted the bones of the victims.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so then you've got that.
So I was leaning back. Sorry about that. What the heck? Looting bones of victims?
Looting bones.
In 1915?
1916, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
The whereabouts of the bones are unknown today. The Butler home was razed, and today a workshop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Sorry, I don't even cut in like
you're
that,
fine.
but
Yeah.
Somebody stole the bones. All the bones are gone now. They don't know where the hell
They
they're
don't know
at.
where they're at. They're gone. So
No wonder they haven't been able to identify them.
you can't identify what you don't
no
have.
DNA.
Yeah. The Butler home was razed, and today a workshop owned by an area family stands on the site. To this day, Butler's victims remain unidentified. According to Dr. Phoebe Stubblefield, man, that's a weird name. Phoebe Stubblefield.
Phoebe Stubblefield.
I'm Phoebe Stubblefield, an anthropology professor at the University of North Dakota. If, by any chance, a surviving member of the people who stole the victim's bones comes forward and hands them over, modern DNA techniques can be used to identify them.
Why in God's name would you go steal bones from somebody?
Most likely it was like a, I don't know what the word is, but
Prank?
Not a prank. It's like weird collecting. It's like people who collect like, you know what? Zach Bagans. What does he have? He has Dr. Kevorkian's van.
That's true.
He has that dirt from that stupid ass house.
That's right. Yep.
He has the mirror that.
I love it.
He has artifacts from people who committed serious crimes, who committed murders.
Is true.
It's a weird fascination to collect these weird things that have to do with like the scary and the death and all that weird stuff.
So
So
he
that's
got
probably
some
what it was.
got some North Dakadian bones in
I
his
guarantee
museum.
somebody brought him some bones, and they're from these people, and they don't know it.
It's-
He's probably got it in his museum right now.
I got human bones. It's illegal to possess human remains like that, though.
FBI, go check out his museum.
Lord.
Yeah, but I mean, so I guess that's another problem too. Is like if somebody was going through their great grandfather's old stuff after he passed away, and they come across this box of bones, their decision is okay.
Damn, Grandpa, what you got there?
Do I tell someone? Do I
Yeah.
risk going to jail? Do
Or do we get rid of it?
we get rid of it? Do we just bury him?
Yeah.
And I think most people would bury him.
Looted, though?
Yeah.
I guess that's a polite way of saying somebody went and jacked the bones and got rid of them. Maybe, like I said, they might have been connected.
Maybe.
But I doubt it if the guy lived by himself, at least supposedly.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
I don't know.
That's what he said. I mean, but now, I also read somewhere that there was somebody put out a theory that there was a possibility that he was homosexual.
Oh.
And some of the young men that he brought on board, it was real sort of like Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer type of thing.
Yeah,
where he
because
would-
back then it was absolutely forbidden.
Right.
They hear about that stuff.
especially
They
in
run
the
you out of-
Midwest. Yeah.
They run you out of town and possibly even hang you.
And so there was theory that he was like a John Wayne Gacy or a
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer who would hire these people or brings people to his house and proceed to groom them into becoming sex slaves. Or
Yeah.
whatever. So, but
You
that
never know.
that was like one theory that I saw somewhere, and there's literally no evidence anywhere to support that theory.
No.
No. In 2016, the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Department reached out to the public in an effort to find new leads, as the old case records were either destroyed or lost.
That's, it's just probably just going to have to stay unsolved. I highly doubt anybody
No.
without anything to start with is going to have any, unless they can go to the house site again, excavate the site, and maybe get fragments.
I'm pretty sure that they because since the house was raised, they probably also dug the ground around it.
I'm
and
sure
I
they
think
did and destroyed any
because
possibility
in
of finding anything.
1915 when they did the first construction, once they found the bones, I would assume that they would have done a thorough digging of the area in and around that house.
Yes.
and picked up anything else they would have.
Most
found.
likely. Sounds logical, brother.
But I agree. This is going to remain unsolved because all the case files are now gone, lost or destroyed. All the bones have been stolen by some damn freaky ass people who like to collect bones for some reason.
That's whack. That's
Yeah.
just whack. But you know what? Never heard this story. I'm glad we covered it.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody out there listening to this likes this story. This is a creepy one.
And this is the first time I've heard of a I guess because it's very similar to like Jeffrey Dahmer or John Wayne Gacy, where they kept the bodies in and under their house.
Yeah, you can't tell me that mass murderers only started or serial killers only started in the 1900s here in the United States or wherever. No.
Yeah.
There've been serial killers for millennia.
Forever. Yeah, I mean
Millennia.
Jack the Ripper.
Probably even cavemen probably had serial killers.
Probably. But this is one of the few, if not the only one I've heard of where, he was never suspected of being anything, and there's very little information on him from his early childhood, so we have no idea how he grew up, if he had any of the prior indications of being a serial killer, like John Wayne Gacy, who had and Jeffrey Dahmer, who had all of the typical signs growing up of becoming this kind of person.
Yep.
But then also that his crimes weren't even discovered until after he passed.
And possibly because, like you said, he concealed the fact. Well, not concealed it, so to say, but the fact, like you said, he was a single man, never got married.
Right.
Fits the MO. He was hiding his, maybe his preference at the time. I don't know.
If that house had stayed in his family and they hadn't sold it and the new person hadn't decided to renovate it, they probably never would have found the bones.
That would have been horrible.
Or at least not so soon, because they found it 2 years after he passed, 2 or 3 years after he passed. But like the house would stay in the family for a while, and at some point it would have gone to someone new who purchased the land, or even a company who purchased the land, and then been like 30, 40 years later. By then, there's really no way to I mean, there's no way now.
Yeah.
But at that point, at 30 years later, everybody's dead who was involved with that. All the evidence has been
It's
severely
gone.
degraded.
It's gone.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and the fact that the people, I mean, there's so many weird aspects of the story. You know, there's him going insane. There's him being a recluse. Because I mean, another recluse.
Like I said, like you said, he wouldn't get married. Didn't have people around because they might accidentally discover the bodies that he'd buried.
But even
were they even buried at that spot? Were they just in the basement for a while? There's no telling.
Even antisocial, antisocial recluse hermit number one, Ed Gein, you know, would at least go into town and talk to people from time to time.
Yeah.
You know, so he had some sort of personality or whatever to actually talk to people. He was still antisocial or just awkward in public.
Yeah.
But like he was found out before he died.
Yep.
You know, they found out he had been robbing graves.
Yep.
He
This is one of the first time. Yeah, this is one of the first time I've ever heard of somebody being either charged or suspected post-mortem.
Right. And Gein had some mental illnesses as well.
Yeah.
But not to the capacity of this guy who would go riding late at night on his horses screaming about, you know, his socks being missing.
But they probably just thought he was a crazy old dude and just ignored him and never thought twice about maybe the fact that he was pickaxing some damn drifters. I think it's burying them under his house. Maybe
it's also back in the time when, like, you know, people didn't, like, a lot of people didn't get like newspapers and stuff, and so like, there's not a lot of way to you know,
word didn't
find
get
out
out
about this
much.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. So that's the story of the strange tale of the Midnight Rider.
Yes, we could go on forever with theories, but we won't do that.
Yeah. Instead, why don't you tell the folks at home where they can find us?
I'll be glad to. Alrighty. You can find us on the fourthhand.com network along with our sister project, What the Suck. You can also find us, of course, on the Big Evil Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out. Our following is growing by leaps and bounds. We're getting all kinds of followers. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it. Also, yes, we have the Patreon.
Yes, the
page,
Patreon.
Patreon.com/State of Fear, all one word. Go on there.
We just put a new one up, a very special episode of James by himself. So if you want to go listen to James's sultry tones for 10 minutes straight, go check it out. It's all on his.
If you can put up with it, yeah.
It's all on his personal belief in medical conspiracies.
Just a couple of them. I kind of focused it on a couple that I feel real strong about.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a ton of conspiracy theories. Maybe I'll come up with some more definitely down the road.
Cool.
But we've got a lot of stuff already up there. We got bloopers, ad-free episodes,
and we have a couple more things in the pipeline that will be on there pretty soon that we're working on.
We have some very cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'll announce that on the site.
Yeah.
But that's it, man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get out of North Dakota. Let's head on to the next great state. But before we do, James, why don't you
let me reach in the old box here and see what I can dig out here.
What do you got in there? What do we got? Find anything good?
Check this out.
What do you got?
This week's song is going to be Mystery Meats by Willy Nilly.
How appropriate.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Willy Nilly is a 4-piece band from Kingston with members from the GTA and Ottawa area. The band's songs cover a diverse range of sounds stemming from a wide variety of influences, mainly in the folk/indie rock genres. Their music might be up the alley of fans of Dr. Dog, Half Moon Run, The Districts, Gang of Utes, and Frightened Rabbit, among others. They write quote-unquote bummer jams that you can sometimes dance to. Well, that's good. The band has resorted to live streaming twice a week from lead singer Owen's absurdly hot living room, while also recording an EP of songs written in early quarantine.
Very cool.
Not bad, man.
All right, man, let's do this.
Let's say we pop it in there and let's get on down the road, brother.
Let's do it.
Starting to bring you down, it's already gotten me. We only smile when the kids come round, and it's been months and we've lost count of weeks. After battles trying to pay the rent, living on mystery meats. So let it run until the gas is gone, until we finally feel some heat. Whoa, whoa, take it easy on me. Whoa, whoa, I'm on a miserable street, but I wash both hands and I've been keeping them clean. I got jump in with both feet. Stuff would fix into a beat up car that I pay way too much to fix. I was thinking at the time that I'd be dead or rich by 26. And I have prayed to everybody's God, hoping one of them will stick. Another year getting kicked around, you'll be as cynical as this. Whoa, whoa, take it easy on me. Whoa, whoa, I'm on a miserable street, but I watch both ends and I've been keeping them clean. So I got no choice to jump in with both feet. Back against the wall, hoping they're still open low. I just got no waiting to fall. I know some days I tend to bring us down, but I'm just trying to take the reins. Cause I gone deeper than I want to go, and I have sworn I won't go back again. I'm just trying to use the goddamn time, it's for so long I have complained. If I don't make it out in better shape, then I must not be worth my name.